All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I came across an insane story regarding an Crunchyroll employee. This employee reportedly, and again, this is all his words, this is allegedly, we don't know for sure 100%, but it's damn sure looking like it's true. He apparently got fired for requesting an ADA accommodation to tend to his mother that has terminal cancer. His bosses were so hardcore against him that they just flat out fired him for doing this. And honestly, this story is not that shocking when you really think about Crunchyroll and their history and allegations made against the company, just like all these other companies. You start to really dive down the rabbit hole of, wow, this is insane stuff, and it's only going to get worse. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to understand this is all allegedly. Again, there is no like hardcore proof whatsoever. We're going to get into his statements. We're going to get into some screenshots. We're going to get into all of it. But Crunchyroll, unfortunately, is getting close to having essentially a monopoly. And this is what happens when you have monopolies, right? You have companies that would just act out, do unbelievably stupid stuff, and nobody can do a thing, right? It feels like nobody could do a thing simply because they are too big and they have too many resources. And quite frankly, they control the majority of the market. And in this case, it has to do with obviously anime in that regard. So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So the headline reads, an ex-Crunchyroll employee reports getting fired for requesting an ADA accommodation to tend to his mother with terminal cancer. Now, he made a statement here. His name is Sean Hoffman, made a statement here recently, and it says the following. Let's read the whole statement. I'm sorry, it's just a little bit too small. Let's make it a little bit bigger so you guys can actually read it. There we go. So much better. Sean Hoffman, how Crunchyroll treated me after my hardest year. He says, I never imagined I'd be writing this post. I gave my all to Crunchyroll. Well, that's usually mistake number one. Don't give your all to a company, okay? You could damn sure give 95% and work hard, but if you give your entire life to a company, they're eventually going to spit you out. Most of these companies do not care about their employees, but I understand giving your all. I get it. Working nights and weekends, driven by passion for the fans and the platform. Nothing wrong with that. Even while facing one of the most devastating challenges of my life, my mother's terminal cancer, I remained dedicated to my work. Respect. When the stress, depression, and anxiety became overwhelming, I requested an ADA accommodation, a reasonable step that should have been met with understanding and support. Instead, I experienced hostility. Now, how many stories have we seen throughout time where these people would request certain times off, for hard times or whatever, and a lot of managers would be like, nope, absolutely not. Nope, that's not important. Nope. Unless someone's dying literally right now at this very second, you're not leaving. That it's insane, man, how people have just lost the ability to just be a little bit understanding, even if it's for a day or two, right? The guy's dealing with obviously an insane amount of stuff. I don't know what else is going on in his life, but terminal cancer for a parent is not easy, I gotta imagine, to handle, especially if he was working through all of it. That means he didn't take time to actually process it, the proper way. And now he's just basically having a melty melt. And I understand. I totally get it. But Crunchyroll, being the corporation they are, doesn't really seem to care about that. But let's see what actually happened. He says, a manager I didn't even report to cursed me out and made an extremely obscene gesture during a workplace conversation. I documented the incident and reported it to HR. Instead of taking corrective action, I noticed a shift in how I was treated. Subtle at first, then more overt. Oh, for sure. If you end up reporting something against an employee that is favored, HR and the company is going to start to try to make your life miserable at work to make you quit, rather than actually have to fire you. This is their strategies that they utilize all the time. Corporations do this all the time. I raised concerns about workplace treatment, professionalism, and respect. Shortly after, Crunchyroll made the decision to terminate my employment, citing a policy violation. Then they offered me severance in exchange for silence. Wow. So what policy violation did he violate? I don't understand. Maybe, does he say it? Does he say it? The manager in this photo, he remains employed. Is anybody shocked by that? I mean, let's be honest here. At the end of the day, like I said, if you end up going after someone who's favored, you're going to find out whether or not you're the favored one or they're the favored one really quickly. You're going to find out that answer really fast. And then you're going to realize that they're going to start treating you differently and they're going to try to make you quit. And now that you actually got fired, which is shocking, I would have thought they would have made you quit, but perhaps they thought you would never quit. They fired you and then offered you severance in exchange for silence. I mean, do you have documentation proof of that silence, that's basically trying to buy, someone's silence. The manager in this photo remains employed. Meanwhile, I am now without income while I care for my mother, a 52-year-old substitute teacher who is battling cancer in a broken U.S. healthcare system that has left her unable to afford treatment. Leadership knew, HR knew, yet this is how they responded. I share this not just for myself, but for the many professionals out there who face retaliation for speaking up, who are forced to choose between their livelihoods and their dignity. Now, listen, man, the workplace is an absolute clusterfuck. That's obvious at this point. Now, the guy in question, this is the screenshot that he saved, so good on him for actually saving the screenshot or being able to save the screenshot. And this is supposed to be some, I don't know, work-oriented Zoom call. If this is a Zoom call and you're doing this, yeah, I think it's safe to say that this guy's probably a piece of shit. He says, have you ever been in a similar situation? How do we hold companies accountable to their own principles? Let's talk. Hashtag life at Crunchyroll, tech careers, and inclusion. Yeah, I mean, if you look at this again, this guy clearly has the fucking middle finger up. And for whatever reason that might be, this man on the right might have been insufferable for all we know, right? He might have been a terrible employee. He might have been actually garbage at his job. We have no idea, right? But what I will say is that it just does not look good. This whole situation does not look good. And it comes from this source here over on LinkedIn, but I don't have LinkedIn, so I can't check it out. And obviously, people are reacting the exact way that you thought they would, right? Manga Alert says, yeah, not a good look, to be honest, and I'm glad he went public with it. Sir Colbad says, given the way Crunchyroll has treated people, especially conservatives, I find to have little sympathy for those who find the barrels swiveling to face them. How many of those hours of work were spent promoting DEI initiatives in gaming, disregarding the beliefs of conservatives and conservative gamers, and supporting nonsense like Gamergate? So again, boys, Crunchyroll has a troubled past. Crunchyroll has a lot of allegations against them, and Crunchyroll also is, basically a monopoly at this point, or damn near almost a monopoly. After the destruction of Funimation, I think it's pretty safe to say that Crunchyroll 100% has gained a lot of favor and a lot of control over the anime community and what they're able to put out and what people consume. So I think this is going to be a big issue, and if this story is true, if it comes to find out that they just went after this employee as a retaliation effort, I think he has a pretty decent lawsuit on his hands, right? He's able to probably sue Crunchyroll, and somebody will take it up pro bono because they probably see free money, easy money, and they're going to settle, right? They're going to settle. If Crunchyroll was going to pay him for his silence for leaving, then I guarantee you they would pay him to settle, right? And I wonder, did he take the money? He didn't actually specify if he took the money. I don't think he specified that at all. He said he's without income, he's without a job, and he makes it seem like he has no money in order to support himself or his sick mother, unfortunately. So I really don't know if he did. Then you sound like a weak, woke ass snowflake. Wow, of course. And you sound like someone who's been here for 12 years and can't manage to get 60 people to think he's worth listening to. Holy shit. Oh my God, the level of cookery that's going on right now. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to check this out and throw this story out there because I found it interesting, considering that obviously I consume anime and especially manga. If you guys don't know, I have a manga channel. Go check it out. Hypnotic Manga. I post every single day there. This story right here was very interesting to me, but I need to know more because I've seen so many employees come out with fake posts like this to try to garner funds towards like a GoFundMe, so that way they could just live okay while they're technically away from work and stay home and do nothing. I've seen all kinds of shit. So I'm not liable to believe anything that shows up on the internet immediately. I'm going to need to see more and see what happens. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.